Hey guys, Books Nelson here, and let's get right into the content with this Maestro card preview. So they just dropped the SIGs for these cards, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't love these kinds of previews because without playing the card, I always discover something when I actually use the card. And we can get an approximation of how good these cards are, but really until you get them in game, there's so many things about how the animations work together that might change how the card is. And certain cards play better on the court than they do look on paper. That having been said, there's an issue I wanted to address here that I think is near and dear to all of our hearts. And I'm going to start from the bottom to the top in this sense. Why are these pink diamonds, at least on paper, so bad? And that's really what this preview is about. I understand 2K is dedicated to these gambling opals, but I don't understand why these pink diamonds have to be, I'm going to say, mostly unusable in this set. The last set I thought was really slept on. If you guys want it, I'll do a Danny Green breakdown. I think that card is honestly, truly amazing. I think he's one of the best shooting guards in the game. But let's get right to it. So Bryant Reeves, he might be serviceable, but he's a pink diamond with 2 shooting badges, and one of them is Midi Magician. Like, that is terrible. And at this point in the year, like, who's actually using this card? How much worse is this card than Wemby? Right? And Wemby is literally several months old. He can't dribble at all. Not that we expect Brian Reeves to dribble, but Big Country's not going to handle the rock. But literally basic, like, that's to the point that you can't do anything. Like, even if he had normal dribble style, in a pinch, he might give you 1 or 2 here and there. This is the kind of guy, like, he dribbles the ball, you scream at him if he's on your team. So he's just a big galoot that's so replaceable. Vooch, he's got the same shot he always has. It's just not a competitive jumper at this time of year. Again, basic dribble style. I just don't know what you're doing with this card. Like, he's got the attributes to be a great shooter, great shooting badges, but absolutely, I think the thing that stands out to me is there's nothing fun about this card, right? Like, there's no fun to be had. Cliff Hagan, a 6'4" 2 guard, with basic dribble style, like, this is painful right here. This is like, these cards are not fun. J. Cole crossover, normal size up on a 2-3. Look, no dunking. What? Like, why? I understand the model, but I don't understand why it has to literally be troll. Like, he's going to cost 84K MT. Right now, he's sellable, but when you look at the fact that the Beasley released yesterday was 90 something KMT, Beasley is infinitely better than this card. This is an unusable card, and Beasley is still at absolute worst, like a top 10 small forward in the game right now. So these pink diamonds are mostly troll. Rubio, 6'2", 6'7" wingspans, not awful. A lot of people underrate these smaller cards because they don't take into account that wingspan is super important. But from a SIG standpoint, he's fine. Like, at his height, you really do need amazing SIGs to play right now. Harden escapes fine. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about him because I'm looking at the SIGs and there's just nothing in these SIGs that allows him to really, like, work. He's got Larry hesitation. I mean, I'm gonna throw him in the troll category too. I don't think this card will be fun. I don't think this card will be good. I think he's also troll 6'2" card. And then Chauncey Billups, we expect that Billups will be solid for his height, but 6'3", playing defense, he needs a really good character model to be good on defense. Pro dribble style, I'm a big fan of that. Kobe breakdown moves is great. Normal behind the back, yikes. His jumper on normal. So I do want to highlight one thing. So this Jason Tatum leaner, if you guys are playing the mobile game, I mean, not leaner, the Jason Tatum step back. If you're playing the mobile game, listen closely. The Jason Tatum step back is a meta step back in the mobile game. In the regular 2K game, I love the Jason Tatum card, but he's not elite with his SIGs. But in the mobile game, Jason Tatum is literally S tier because of that Jason Tatum moving step back. It's that, I forgot how to describe it. Maybe it was Pro 3 back in like the 2K20 days, but it's just that quick hop back step back that you can do basically anything out of. And going back to Chauncey, so he has that. So in mobile, Chauncey Billups might have some use, but ultimately he's a 6'3" point guard that can't dunk and has a 6'6" wingspan, which is terrible. So his character model can only be but so good with a 6'6" wingspan. Antoine Walker, same thing, basic dribble style. He's got Trey Escape, which gives him something to do, because Trey Escape in and of itself is enough for you to move in this game. Literally just having Trey or Kemba Escape is enough for you to actually do something. But outside of that, just a ton of flaws with this card. 6'9", 6'11" wingspan, okay size at the 3, but there are so many good threes in the game, including free threes. Free small forwards. Like, you look at this set, all of these pink diamonds, there's literally no fun to be had, right? If I look for, I'm gonna look at the Danny Green set, because people really trashed this set, and I'm not trying to paint it out like it was amazing or anything, but when you look at, from last week, Franz Wagner and Danny Green can play, and they can play at like a really competitive level. Like this Danny Green, I'm going to just quickly go back over him. He's got Kemba Escape, a lot of these pro dribble moves, the Jimmy Harden step back, the James Harden behind the back. That's an elite KD has he. Like, these are some elite dribbles with the pro dribble style, Devin Booker dribble style. Normal two leaners, solid. It's not the best, and his jumper feels really good. This is a fantastic small forward, and he's really a defensive card, which is the other thing, right? Like, you look at his defensive badges, look at the Hall of Fame badges, they're all there. That was a legitimately good card, right? You look at the rest of this iconic set, Franz Wagner is amazing. And, Jeff Green and Mikal Bridges, they're usable. Like, if you're fans of those guys, you're happy with those cards. They're not, like, very good, but if you're fans of them, you're getting some kind of experience out of them. Whiteside's a serviceable center. Jason Williams is awful. Really, really awful card. But at least you look at those pink diamonds, you're not unhappy when you pull them. When you look at these pink diamonds, this is literally... You see that pink diamond shake and you get nothing out of it. Like, even just like for fun, these cards are garbage. Very, very disappointed that 2K went this route with the pink diamonds. We're going to talk about the opals. So before we do that, let's go into Allen Houston. Allen Houston looks absolutely fantastic. Another great free card. D-Fox signature size up. Absolutely fantastic. I will make a video at some point on a card with this size up. Maybe Houston. I don't want to do Jalen Green because I don't want to cover like the gambling cards, but I might do it anyway just for educational purposes. But that D-Fox size up is incredible. And he's got, the Curry Escape's not the best, but Kobe dribble size up's fantastic. Pro 2 leaner. If you got the D-Fox size up, Pro 2 leaner, Pro behind the back, you can definitely move and get some stuff done in this game. So yeah, he looks pretty solid. Not perfect, but he's definitely good enough to play, I think, with his release on very quick. It's going to feel pretty good. I got to look at that Giannis moving crossover, but Giannis has really good attacking SIGs. So here's another thing about this game. In my career, because the cards have the same attribute caps, all of the dribble moves perform exactly the same way, pretty much, because it's a pretty small window. But in MyTeam, a card can be literally 99 speed. And I'm telling you straight up, Victor Oladipo with pro dribble style is a completely different universe than David Robinson with the pro dribble style. And I will display that at some point. But, all SIGs are not created equally, even when it's the same SIG, because the card itself might have other attributes that make the SIG much better on that card. Kyrie, it's Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie is, when I say good, he can score. Obviously, 6'2", 6'4" wingspan. That's going to be a struggle defensively, even just from a shot contest standpoint. Height is less important. And listen, if somebody's really good with Kyrie Irving, they will tear you up in triple threat. I think people still getting buckets with the diamond Kyrie in triple threat if they're really good on the sticks. So people will look at a card like this and automatically call it trash. I think that's just the obsession of previous MyTeams. If somebody's going to paint mash you in this game and you're good and you're skilled enough to consistently get threes, you're not at as big of a disadvantage as previous years, because it's much harder to generate threes So if you can, that's a bigger advantage than it used to be. Whereas in previous years, threes came from everywhere and they were very easy to get. So a card that could generate threes wasn't as strong. And paint mashing was the reverse. Paint mashing used to be easier, and there's really no consistent paint mashing in this game. There's a lot of RNG under the basket both ways. So if you get this Kyrie card and you invest into this card and you can really boogie with Kyrie, you're going to have success with the card within what you're doing. Are you going to have as much success as if you had a taller point guard who could also generate threes? No. But is it a trash card? I really struggle to call it a trash card. I think, he's got a little dunking. I think the one thing with Kyrie is he's only got an 80 driving dunk, which is not enough to get a good dunk meter, even with a shoe. Maybe with a shoe and a coach, he can get a good dunk meter. Can he get precision dunker? Does he have precision? Yes, he has precision dunker on gold, which is actually really good news. Because I think with a shoe and a dunking coach, he can actually be a much better slasher. What dunking animations does he have? Yikes. Actually, no, he's got hangs off one. Hangs off one is a really good dunk package. So if you have a dunking coach and you have a shoe on him with that precision dunker on gold, I think Kyrie might be a better finisher than he looks like if you just look at that 80 driving dunk, in addition to the fact that he has 99 driving layup. So you're going to get a lot of cheesy layup outcomes if you choose the right layup in the right situation. So actually, don't think this Kyrie is troll card. Listen, he's a small point guard, but is he a bad small point guard? I don't think so. I don't think he's a bad small point guard. And then on top of that, his release is on very quick. He has a very good, very easy release. And he's got that Kyrie leaner as well. So yeah, I think this Kyrie Irving, for fans of Kyrie Irving, of which there are many, your burden is you have to go in and you got to really learn how to use these SIGs. But if you do that, this Kyrie Irving is good. For the other 99% of the community who's going to play exactly the same way no matter what the card is, then Kyrie's bad, right? Hito. Boy, when I talk about troll, there is some troll in this card. So he's got the Pro 2 leaner, which is fantastic. If you have a release on very quick, it almost doesn't matter. If you have the Pro 2 leaner, the Pro 2 leaner is going to be pretty good with the release on very quick. So that should be pretty good, unless that upper is, and it's the RJ Barrett upper. So, and I like RJ's upper just fine. So I think as a shooter, like people are dogging this card, I have to play with it, but I like the Pro 2 leaner with the RJ Barrett upper on very quick. I don't think the base ruins that. As a catch and shoot shooter, he might struggle a little bit. We'll see. But that doesn't look too bad. So obviously Michael Jordan dribble style is fantastic. Elite motion style also really good. Ja size up is okay, but here's the troll right here. LeBron James has really not great escapes. I think his between the legs is okay, but his escape cross is not great. And if Hito had Kemba, KD, Pro, obviously Trey, this card would be so much better. He's got the Steph Curry moving step back, which is outstanding. He's got the James Harden moving behind the back, which is outstanding. Kobe's moving crossover is arguably the best in the game. The only one that competes with it is John Wall. So this guy has a lot of stuff going for him. There's one thing I have to check with the Michael Jordan dribble style. I have to look at the whoopty on that because that's an animation people are really sleeping on, believe it or not. I've been using it online against people, and it's very, very strong. He's got great dunk packages. People are saying this Hito Turco Glue is going to be trash. I don't know, man. I think he's got a lot going for him on paper. I have to use the card myself to really see, but he's got a lot going for him. Let's see. And we've got Mr. Cade Cunningham. So I'm actually glad I have this comparison up. So I shouldn't say I slept on Cade. When Cade came out, I didn't know nearly as much about the game as I do now. Had I known that, Cade would have been my PG1 until probably when Oscar Robertson came out. When Oscar Robertson came out, that might have been when I switched. But up until then, this guy, I knew he was in a lot of competitive lineups and being used in tournament, but I just did not know enough about the game at the time to really explore it. And let me tell you something. This card, with that tray escape and that release and that height, really, really outstanding. So now what else have they changed? So there's a really big change, two big changes. So Steph Curry dribble style versus Chris Paul. I do think Steph Curry's is way better. It's not as good as obviously Kyrie, I don't think it's as good as Pro. I don't think it's really as good as Bron either, or Michael Jordan, or Devin Booker. But it has strengths to it, and the strengths is that you can really move around very, very freely with this. Elite motion style, big upgrade here. He's going to move around the court much better, much faster because of that. I have to explore the Devin Booker crossover. I don't use it a lot on Booker, but I to be honest with you, Booker's leaner is so good that I'm like everybody else with Devin Booker. I'm pretty brain dead. I just, zigzag left to right, shoot a leaner, and Devin Booker scores 100 points. So I got to look at this Devin Booker moving crossover. But this moving step back John Wall, woo, baby. We're going to do a video on this, probably with the LeBron James card. We're going to really dig into this moving step back here. The Trae Young, guys, listen closely. The Trae Young escape with the John Wall moving step back is enough to almost save any card in the game. As long as they don't have something troll, like basic moving hesitation, which was troll, right? As long as they don't have something like that, the card can definitely create at an elite level with just those two moves. That's how strong they are. So him having his moving hesitation switch to Pro on top of that, he is an absolutely elite card. Very quick release. His release was already fantastic. Hopefully it's not too quick. Pro leaner, not great. Not great with the Pro leaner. And what about his step back? What's his hop jumper? Hop jumper is the same Pro 2. So on the move, Cade is not the best from a creation standpoint, but getting to the basket, let's look at that real quick. And this is the real tragedy of this gambling only, because I don't need Cade. None of us need Cade, right? Like if you have that free James Harden, you don't need Cade. But man, would he be a fun card to use. And I think that's the biggest crime of this gambling only stuff, is literally preventing you from having the amount of fun you would have. So he goes to 75 standing dunk from 55. This is actually a big upgrade, because when you like cross that threshold of like 70 standing dunk, they standing dunk much more reliably, right? So that's important. And then the driving dunk going from 85 to 95. That means his stick dunking is going to be absolutely elite. And on that note, let's look at these dunking animations. Oh my God, he's got some big upgrades here. So athletic front tomahawks, big upgrade. Athletic one-handers off one, another really big upgrade. Under the basket, athletic flushes also. You might get a couple of troll ones, like maybe some back scratchers might be in there, but it'll be fast. So you're not going to get caught too much. He did have under the basket regular before, which honestly would have been kind of a W, because those are usually like straight up and down from what I remember. And he lost the back scratchers off 2, which is huge. So he's going to be way better at dunking. This Cade card is almost certainly PG1 over literally everyone else in the game. I'm going to look at his badges real quick. So he's got Hall of Fame Agent 3, which will be good. So, and we'll talk about this. Hall of Fame Agent 3 with the John Wall step back and the James. He has the James Harden behind the back. What does he have behind the back? Let me double check before I say something crazy. Moving behind that back is Pro, which is fine too. So if you hit with that, a step back or anything, it's going to activate Agent 3s. So having that on Hall of Fame, super duper important. And we see the badges. Yeah, they look pretty good. So he's got comeback kid, corner specialist, not really super relevant. He didn't have quick first step before. And oh wait, let's get to next gen. What are we doing? Okay, so he didn't have speed booster before. Now he has it on Hall of Fame. The card already moved really well. He's got the increased attributes plus speed booster on Hall of Fame. Yeah, woo, this card's good. Hall of Fame unpluckable. Yeah, if you learn how to use those escapes and the John Wall step back, this Cade Cunningham is a problem. And not only is he 6'7", but he also has a 7'1" wingspan. Absolutely elite jumper. Probably one of the most fun cards in the game to use, and we don't have access to him. Pain. Ron Artest. Ron's also very good. Let's go ahead and compare Ron to his diamond, which quite frankly can still play in the game, right? His diamond is still a very much usable card. And we see here from the attributes why, 97 perimeter defense on the diamond. So defensively, the card plays. Offensively, even these stats are very usable, right? He can be an elite mid-range shooter with a 90. And a lot of the upgrades are in the post. So there's a little bit of placebo going on with this run from a rating standpoint, because look at how many of these ratings are not usable ratings, right? So we can look at that, although he does have the 55 shot IQ. That having been said, obviously, clearly a better card. He was already elite in many of these categories, and now he's eliter in these categories, which is cool. So dribble style, Michael Jordan. I like that much more than the Trae Young dribble style, which is not awful, but this is better. Kawhi Leonard motion style, one of the best motion styles in the game. Huge. Kobe size up. Kobe size up is pretty good. I don't necessarily love it over the pro size up. It's not the best thing about Kobe. Kobe has a lot of the best animations in the game. His size up isn't really one of them. It's a good size up. I don't know if I'd call it a great size up, but if you guys let me know in the comments if you want me to do a breakdown on Kobe Bryant, because I really do think the community, even though Kobe Bryant's SG1 for most people and should be for everybody to this day, I don't think the community has really figured out how to truly use Kobe Bryant. What other upgrades does he have? Pro behind the back over Scotty. I don't know if Scotty's behind the back, so I can't speak to that. He honestly, from a dribbling standpoint, it really just comes down to the Kobe size up. Well, I mean, the Trae escape, obviously. That's the main thing, is the Trae escape. It's really just Trae escape in Michael Jordan dribble style, but that is enough to make him super elite as a dribbler, and then off the dribble, moving into that Pro 2 leaner. I mean, I don't think Ron is still yet going to be quite better than Kobe. I don't know if I'd put him above it because, again, Kobe just has so many of the best animations in the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was the first shooting guard to truly unseat Kobe Bryant. He has a chance. Pro 2 leaner with his fantastic... Oh, wait, they changed his base, actually. He used to have the Rudy Gay base. Now he has Markelle Fultz. I don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade, especially now that he has it on very quick. That's super interesting. I wonder if that's good or if that's troll. I've played with the Markelle Fultz card, and I actually like that card, but the upper's kind of weird. But the base does feel pretty good. So this, I don't know if this is an upgrade or not. Have to play with the card to see. But yeah, he's got enough significant upgrades. I wouldn't be surprised if he was some people's favorite shooting guard in the game, and they might not be wrong about that. I would even go as far as to say I would take this card over 100 overall Michael Jordan any day of the week at the 2 guard position. Hakeem Olajuwon looks pretty fantastic for the most part. So people really like that Hakeem release, and it's on very quick, so it's going to be even better. Pro 2 leaner on a big is crazy because bigs are tall, and contesting that shot is more difficult the taller you are, so that's great. Pro escape is really solid. McGrady size up, I still got to explore that. Michael Jordan dribble style is self-explanatory. Chris Paul moving hezzy is actually really, really good. He's got that Chris Paul fake going to the basket, but the thing is, it like moves them weird. It gives you like a little speed boost. Pro behind the back is solid, and the Steph Curry moving step back is absolutely elite. This is definitely going to be one of your better shot creating centers in the game. And at 7 foot 7'3" wingspan with the Hakeem defensive badges, which we expect. Does he have anything alarming on defense? Nope. I definitely upgrade that challenger to Hall of Fame. Why are we on last gen? There we go. Okay. I'd upgrade that challenger. I'd probably upgrade fast feet and pick dodger on this card. I don't know what other bad, and definitely give him Agent 3. He needs Hall of Fame open looks. So I do think he needs a few badges. He needs hands for days. So this is very interesting because he does need a few of these badges to really be brought out. This is definitely a resource intensive card because to get the most out of him, you absolutely have to put handles for days. Like you must. This is a must have badge, and preferably Hall of Fame, because bigs after like 4 dribble moves, they practically need to be subbed out. So it's great that they put all of these SIGs on the bigs, but at the same time, you need multiple bigs in your lineup who can do that if you want to play that style. So if you have him, you definitely also want to have Boogie or Jokic in the lineup if you want to play that style all day where you're creating with your bigs, because you do it with Hakeem for a few plays, he's going to get tired, and then you got to take him out. Otherwise, he might start to get dogged and start to give you those bad animations and all of that stuff. But that having been said, Hakeem obviously looks absolutely fantastic. You expect him to play well defensively because he's Hakeem. He usually gets really crazy speed ups in any 2K. He's got some pretty good dunk animations. Yeah, athletic one-handers off 1. Absolutely fantastic. And again, that Pro 2 leaner. This Hakeem looks like he's absolutely awesome. And if you thought he was the best center in the game, I would not argue with you on that note. He looks like a fantastic opal. J.R. Smith. I want to look at this card. People really hate J.R. Smith in this game. And I'm neither here nor there on it because I haven't used the card. But we can just look at what's changed. So his jumper went very quick. Sometimes that's enough to fix a jumper that feels really bad. Pro 2 leaner, absolutely awful. This pretty much makes him a troll card. So Pro 2 leaner, going towards, I believe, your off ball hand is usually very good. But going towards your ball hand, it does that thing where it tosses you like behind the 3-point line. And if you're moving at a certain speed and a certain angle, it moves you way far back. If you're moving at a certain speed, a certain angle, it moves you way far forward. So it's a really, really hard leaner to control. You can hit the shot, but it's very hard to control. Very volatile leaner going towards the strong hand. Very, very good going towards the left hand. So going to the strong hand, you have to use the hop jumper if you want to shoot on the move. Otherwise, it's going to be a real struggle. But is that enough to ruin the card? Is his release on very quick enough to have him play? Let's take a look. D-Book dribble style over pro. You guys know me. I don't think that's a flat-out upgrade, to be honest with you. I like pro dribble style much, much more. Motion style elite over base, big upgrade. Skip to my loose size up. KD escape. I got to get in the lab on a KD escape. Haven't really had a reason to use it. But I do think it's probably pretty good and probably pretty usable for that kind of stuff. So we'll take a look at that. John Wall moving crossover, absolutely elite. Combo moves James Harden. This is a huge one. We'll definitely discuss this move. This is one of the best moves in the entire game. James Harden combo moves. We're going to talk about that. Absolutely fantastic. So people are going to say this card stinks. It really depends on the jumper. But according to the SIGs, he doesn't stink according to the SIGs. Definitely not. Pro Hezi definitely plays. Pro behind the back is pretty solid, not elite, but enough to work with. And yeah, this really depends on how much that KD escape is moving and grooving. I got to look at that Rafer Alston size up. So this is one of those cards I definitely have to explore to give you guys an honest opinion on it. But outside of the Pro 3 leaner and maybe a questionable jumper, this card could be better than people think. And normally I wouldn't talk about these 100 overalls because who's going to get the card? I'm not going to spend too much time on Dirk, but I will say they definitely tried to juice this card with the SIGs. He's definitely got a lot going for him with the SIGs. But at the same thing as everybody else, at his size, the jumper matters much more than the SIGs because how much of this are you really going to get to do with this card? It's not, I mean, listen, I love bigs who can create. I love Boogie Cousins. Absolutely love him. But the fact of the matter is, after a good 4 possessions where you do those combos, Boogie needs a Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? So I think with these cards, you have to have multiple of them in your lineup to run that style. So it just depends on if you like these Dirk SIGs. You know, do you like these Dirk SIGs? And I only bring that up because it's very strange. Now, we talked about this was going to be Magic Johnson. It feels like 2K's trolling because it's called the Maestro set and it's Dirk. Maestro, Magic, you don't have a point guard in this set yet, and then you pull out Dirk and you give him all these crazy SIGs, even though you literally put out 2 power forward centers and you have Hakeem in the same lineup, and Hakeem is probably better, quite frankly, than Dirk. I wouldn't be surprised if Hakeem is not only better than Dirk, but like much better than Dirk. So this is a very puzzling addition to this lineup. And the reason I'm even covering this is who even wants, outside of Dirk Nowitzki fans, if you're a Mavericks fan, obviously, yes, you want this card. But I mean, for the greater 2K community, who's seeing 100 overall Dirk and is like, I'm going to spend $1,000 pulling these packs? I don't know. That's pretty puzzling to me. This is definitely, for the most part, the Cade and Hakeem. Well, I think Cade, Ron, and Hakeem are the obvious dubs. Big question marks on J.R. Smith. And then the L. Well, I can't put Hito in the L's. He just has too much going for him. I got to see what that jumper looks like at that speed. I think Hito could actually definitely be a W. And then Kyrie Irving is the troll card because you see that opal glow and you think you're getting one of these 3 guys and you get this guy. As good as Kyrie Irving is, he's essentially just going to be, you could get the same thing out of so many other small point guards in the game. I don't know if he's giving you anything special at that size that makes him worth pulling an opal. But that's it for covering this set, guys. We're not going to talk about the whole gambling thing and blah, 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 blah. Let's just sum it up. Pink diamonds are literally 100% troll. There's not a single pink diamond that would make my team, even if I made 5 teams. None of these guys would make the lineup. And that sucks because you shouldn't feel bad about pulling a pink diamond. I hope they never do this again, because they did this on purpose. Because you can tell that they know which moves are great by which moves they put behind the price wall. So they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They know which cards are good and which cards are not, and they purposefully made these pink diamonds absolutely awful, and that's really confusing because you're definitely pulling the set to get one of these three opals, who arguably could each be the best at their position, and Hito Turkoglu is likely top 5 at the worst at his position, even with as many great small forwards that are in the game. Well, you know what? With the LeBron escape, that hurts him a lot, so I can't say top 5. He's probably top 10. I don't even know if this Hito is better than Michael Beasley, to be honest with you. But he does have a lot of good things going for him. That LeBron escape just hurts him so bad. Steph Curry is fantastic. Michael Jordan is fantastic. But yeah, you're definitely pulling this set to get one of these three guys. And if you don't get one of these three guys, you're going to feel real bad. Whether you lock in for that or not, that's up to you, because it's a 50-50 proposition on whether you get an elite card in this game. Although maybe it's a little better than that if JR is pretty good. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Dribble tutorial on the way soon. It's going to be unlike any dribble tutorial on YouTube, and that's on purpose because dribble tutorials don't work for a reason. We're going to try and solve that problem here on this channel. So I'll see you guys in the next one with more card reviews, and I might even do a little bit of just hangout streaming like the old Sim Nation days where we all just sit around and chat while, you know, doing a little nothing in the game, talking about what's going on in the game, that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section. I cannot thank you enough for the overwhelming support on this channel. It has been way beyond anything that I'd hoped for, and we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.